So you may be thinking about starting a Turo car rental business, a Turo business. Or maybe you're looking at scaling your business. Maybe you've tried it out, you have a car on the platform, you're new to the community, you're new to the network, you're new to the application, you're new to the industry, and you're thinking, should I turn this into a business? Should I go full time? Should I commit more? Should I grow my fleet? Should I get more cars? But I have a bunch of questions. And every single day I'm talking with new hosts or existing hosts that are looking at scaling their fleet, scaling their business. So I'm going to share some of the thoughts that I had and some of the things I shared with them over the weekend. Today's Monday, and so I thought, why not start with some of the stuff, some of the challenges, some of the reasons why you might not want to start a Turo business. The car rental part of it is absolutely hectic, especially nowadays with all the prices going up. So inflation has brought up all prices, from labor rates from the car shop to getting your car repaired, to tires, to oil changes. So it's not just fuel, it's not just gas, it's everything. And there's still a long wait. So when a car goes down and it's in the shop, I mean, it just takes money right from your margins. It takes right out of your margins. I recently spoke to someone over the weekend that had 30 something cars here in Vegas. Economy Cars was doing really well, teamed up with two or three other people that also had 20, 30. They had over 100 cars collectively, and they were running out of a garage. And he was sharing with me that the biggest thing that when they had 30 cars, when he had 30 plus cars, a third of the cars were down for service or maintenance, mainly repairs. And being out here in Vegas, I don't know about your area, it could be different, but I've experienced this in California as well, not just here in Nevada. But I do notice that because of the heat, tires and not fuel lines, but rubber hoses inside of your vehicle, the heat and just tears it apart. It just breaks it down a little bit faster. And yeah, it leads to a lot of roadside, a lot of maintenance. Well, let's get right into that. I'm a car guy, and that's part of the reason why I like Turo. But if you're not a car person and you don't want to, you don't like dealing with, well, immediate stress or short-term, high-impact stress, well, this might not be the type of business that you want to get into. This past weekend, I've had to deal with a busted alternator. It wasn't even a busted alternator. It still worked, but it made a sound from the engine, and it sounded something crazy. The car still functioned the same, but it was loud. And I had to repair that alternator. That alternator part cost me $280. Luckily, I was able to find that part, and that's a story in itself, because when I called up the dealership and a couple of parts places, the actual specific part to that vehicle, which was my Corvette, wasn't available. Luckily, I found a way around to that. But again, being a car guy, these are some of the things that you'll eventually learn being in the industry, at least in the auto repair industry. What else did I have? I had a tire repair that I had to fix. Actually, two tire repairs. I had to replace two tires because of the tread. It went on a couple of rides, and I've always checking the outside tread depth and making sure it looks all right. I'm making sure that it's at least 50% there. But sometimes when your alignment is off, then your tires were a little bit funny. And so when it's on the inside, it could be way different than outside. There's a lot of times when it's like that. So if you're renting out a car for yourself, or you're borrowing a car, make sure you check the tire health inside and out. I had these tires that metal was showing from the inside. It looked all right from the outside. It looked pretty good from the outside, but from the inside, there was metal, and I didn't catch that and went off, and I probably haven't checked it for, honestly, probably 3 months. And so I had to replace two tires. Now, I will share that part of the reason why I'm able to get a lot of this stuff done instantly is because I do rent a position or a bay inside of a friend or a local auto shop's place of business. One of their bays, one of their lifts, I rent that out for about $300 per month. Well, now it's $300 per month. And I'm able to use that bay, and I'm able to work out of it. And it definitely helps out. If you have a garage, which I have a garage, sometimes sometimes it's difficult to work on cars just to even pull off a tire and fix a flat, right? And a lot of times when I have to fix these flats, it's right in between rentals. So I'll have a rental it's coming in and now it's going right back out. And because I have instant booking, my car is available after 2 hours, even after pickup, down to even an hour. Well, I got to make sure that I get that repaired quickly as possible. So having a lift, a bay that I can go to and lift the car and do it up in the air, have a little bit more space, and also have all the tools that I need and all the stuff I need as well too. So tire repair, tire replacement is real easy. I can pick up the tire from any manufacturer, any parts places. Sometimes I'll go to Walmart and buy these tires, but they're too busy to put them on. Or that might be the case for an auto shop. I'm always pretty busy Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays in the car rental business, in the Turo business, but so are tire shops and so are automotive repair places. And the times when you actually really do need them, like for example, like before they open, before 8 o'clock, it's real difficult if you don't, well, it's just a lot easier if you have your own access to your own lift and you're able to do the work yourself. So that's either a pro or a con. If you're good with cars, you know how to work on your own cars, and you're in that industry, this might be an amazing business for you because you're constantly looking at cars. And that's also probably a reason why if you're not good at that stuff and you don't do that stuff, that could be a challenge, especially if you're working with used cars. When a car is brand new, within the first 20, 30,000 miles, the car is perfect. You're not going to have any of those issues. Probably not any tire issues, not any wheel issues, not any alignment issues, not any real issues. The car is pretty much brand new. But as soon as your car hits 36,000 miles, or it's been a couple of years, well, that car is going to have issues, and you're constantly want to maintain it and check it out. You want to make sure you check everything out. So today, even this weekend, I went through, I think, 2 oil changes, and just did an oil change today on a car that came back and is going right back out. I had a car that was down because it was, I needed service on it. I didn't, the tire, I got the tire repaired. It was by the edge, but I wanted to make sure that it was done right. But, sometimes your car is down, and I didn't fix it right away. I was pretty busy over the weekend, so I had one car down, and this wasn't the weekend to have the car down because it was pretty good money. I'm gonna just share my screen real quick and just share a couple of day trips that I had over, or a couple of trips I had over the weekend, and these trips are kind of what makes it worth. Well, it makes it worth offering vehicles for one-day rentals and last-minute bookings. So let me share my screen real quick, and I'm just gonna pull up a couple of trip receipts here that I already finished, and these are both one-day trips, August 6th to August 7th. Here's the BMW that went out on Saturday, and these are last-minute trips. So if you look, this thing was $217 that it brought in from the 6th to the 7th. It only went 34 miles. I mean, that's like $6. That's like $6 a mile, which is amazing. But it's not always like that, because if you look on the other end of it, where you have another car like my Corvette that went out for one day as well too. Funny enough, this one didn't make that much money. This one only made $164, still with unlimited miles, for 273 miles. So that's about, I don't know, 30 cents per mile. So there's a big difference, but that's not always the case. This car does hit a lot of rentals where it's under 100 miles, and I'm getting $164 to $200 plus. Now that $200 plus technically is because it didn't have a higher day rate. What it did have is it was more than one day, so it counted as 2 days. But I love these type of customers because these single one-day customers bring in a lot of repeat business and a lot of referrals as well too. And I believe that's how I got James, through a referral from someone else who rented a car one day. And so that's one other thing that I love about this business. And there's quite a few things I love about this business. But the number one is the type of clients that you acquire, or at least at this level where you're charging a good amount, a good day rate. So other than maintenance and having that instant gratification of making sure that it's done fast, is it both a pro and a con to to starting a Turo business or expanding your Turo business. You can't rely on Turo roadside support because they suck. Literally, Turo roadside service sucks, and it's like even the communication that you have with the person over the phone, not that great. And then the level of service or immediate service is pretty much not there. I mean, you're waiting, the renter's gonna be waiting there forever. So that's been kind of my thing, is I'll go and take care of it right away, and I'm prepared to take care of it right away. I do have the skill set to take care of it right away. And most of the time it's something simple. I did just last week, I had to jump a car because I don't know how they left with everything automatic, somehow they drained the battery and it wouldn't start. So I had to go over there and jump the car. Not a big issue. From start to finish, I got it all done within an hour from them, having that issue. And keep in mind, I don't know how long they had the issue because they called support first, roadside support of Turo, which they paid for, whatever the insurance and the coverage is. They have that available to them, but mentioned that it was going to take way too long. And of course, they're on vacation or they're here for business, whichever it is. They want something done right there and then, and that's just a hassle that I don't want them working with either. So those are 2 trip receipts. I do have a car that was out, that's still out, that's coming back, and I have a couple of rentals hopefully for this week. It's going to be a real good week. So it's bad when you have cars down because you're not able to take advantage of a real busy weekend or really busy week with one-day rentals. Now these one-day rentals, if you look at my settings, you want to make sure that your settings are that you offer certain things like delivery, right? And if you look at some of the changes I've made, some of the settings that I have here, I'll have, like, for example, I just listed this BMW 3 Series. I already have 1 trip on it, and so I'm already half the money that this car cost me per month. So now I'm raising the price, and I have the price set here at $206. Watch my other videos, I'll break down why I have $206 and how that actually comes out to only $100 per day if they book for 3+ days. And which is crazy. So not making at least $100 a day is kind of tough, especially in this industry. It's almost like it's not worth it. But I have all my maximum discounts, 25% off as always. I also have a last minute booster, so it adds on 10% if they're booking it like right now. And I mean right now. So one of the things that you have to offer in this business, if you're looking at doing a successful with high profits Turo business, it's all about the service. It's not just the car. I offer, for example, I broke it down in my details, and this is probably the biggest reason why people purchase or rent from me, even at the higher dollar amount, because they can book instantly and I'll deliver within an hour. I'll deliver in an hour for sure. I don't worry about fuel. Like, I give it to them anywhere from half a tank to a full tank, and even if they bring it back, as long as they bring it back to 1/8 tank, I'm cool. And I mentioned this, but a lot of times it'll come back and it'll be returned with a full tank of gas. So I do have that out there, and I don't think too many people take advantage of that. But I think they like it when they're going through the initial part of searching for their vehicle, or searching for which car they want to rent out. So I have some basic information here. I do have my website here, so they can hit me through live chat, which I'm constantly getting messages from potential renters, interested renters, about just basic questions. And it's nice to have live chat so I can manage multiple lines of communication. So I have free delivery to the airport and hotels, which is really nice. But here's what's nice. I don't just offer the delivery. Someone's coming, when I offer delivery to the airport, and I have the car where I come in, I track their, I ask them for their trip details, for their flight details, so I know if their flight's delayed or it's coming in early, and I make sure that the car is there within an hour of them picking it up. And they're not going anywhere to pick it up. They're hopping out of the plane, from the AC plane to the air-conditioned and nice and cool indoor terminal. As soon as they get out, it's a different story. It says, "Hi, welcome to the desert." And it becomes a real uncomfortable situation. So I know, because that's one of the things I hated when I used to not live here in Vegas and used to come in to go visit family and friends. So they come out of the plane, they get their bags. It's pretty fast here at Las Vegas Airport. And so once they get out, My goal is to get them to their car in under 5-10 minutes where the car is cooled down. That's why I love Teslas. I love some of these other cars that have auto start. Like I keep the Tahoe on, especially when I know when they have a family and they've taken this long ride with probably kids. And so it's nice to have the car already it's on and already cooled down. It's just a nice touch, and then again, brings me back a lot of repeat customers and a lot of referrals. So, yeah, I'm delivering these cars advance notice where they can book it instantly from either the delivery location, or a location that they choose, and they can do it within 5 minutes of advance notice. My car's ready to go and I'm ready to get out there. Now, of course, it says 5 minutes, but a lot of times it'll be scheduled. For example, it's 4:40 right now. It won't come in as anything earlier than 5:30. So sometimes 5:10 to 5:30, that'll be a 20-minute window. It only takes me 10 minutes. But my cars are on call, but that's primarily the reason why I'm getting the higher dollar amount. So if you look at my calendar, I've raised the price on this one to, well, this one right now for this week is only 183, but I did lift the price to 206. And again, I'll break down the numbers in a future video, in a shorter video, where 206 with all the discounts, if they rented for 3+ days, which means which could be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. A lot of rentals I get is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, midweek, which I only receive $100 per day, so that'll only be $300, which is kind of nice because I only have to go out for 2-3 day trips, and everything's covered on this car. Everything else is profit, right? So that's the goal, and I don't need much to get there. Even if they just do one day, which I do get a lot of, I want to make sure I take advantage of the margins and making sure that I can offer those services of being able to deliver to their hotel and offer them that white glove VIP, Vegas VIP service. And that's again a big difference between a lot of the services or a lot of my competitors here on Turo offer or don't offer, or a lot of people don't offer. In fact, I've only met maybe a few, and they don't really offer it, not to this level, not instantly like I do. And there's a lot of stipulations and a lot of restrictions, a lot of limitations to what a lot of other Turo hosts have, which I don't have. I have my cars already ready to go, and I'm willing to pretty much offer that VIP service, car cool down, at your VIP or at your valet in a parking garage, which is kind of crazy because I feel like this is the type of business that you can take advantage of, providing excellent service, and people are willing to pay for it. So these are the services or the settings I have on my services for my car. Again, that's what makes it a little bit separate. I'm looking at only doing $200 plus because that's what makes it worth it. Plus, if I get a 1-day rental, well, it's simple. I guess I'll break it down real quick. So if they break it down for 206 and then it's a last minute book, so they book it right now, and in the middle of this video and I gotta go. So they're gonna pay $226 for the vehicle, right? Well, I'm only gonna make 75%. Well, that's only $170. $170, and that's, you probably seen that price point that I get. Well, that's not all just profit, right? So I want to make sure that I land at $100. So I cushion myself, and this is kind of what it has to be, because I'll have to minus $15 to $20 for Lyft, right? So let's say just minus $20, right? To come back after I deliver it, right? If I have to pay for parking, let's say that's another $3 to $15. Let's just say that's another $15, minus 15. And then on the way back to go pick it up, I usually spend a lot less money because it's not immediate. I don't have to be there at a certain time. I can plan it out a lot of times. So that's usually another, I don't know, $15. Let's say 50. Let's say another, well, minus another $20 just because. So that only comes up to $115. $115 if I'm getting that, 2-3 times a week, right? So let's say I'm getting it 3 times a week for half the month and only twice for the other half of the month for the other 2 weeks. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So times 10, right? Times 10. That's all it's making is $1,200. And so if car payment's like $800, $900 on this car, like I'm not making much money if they're only just doing those rentals. So why it comes and makes sense, I want to make sure that if it goes out for the weekend on certain cars, right? Like, and that one I would make sure that price point at 206, I'm really trying to land at a $500 car payment, right? Or $600 at the most car payment. Hopefully that's with insurance and everything else, right? So if you look at 206 times 3, right? Because they want the 3-day, they want the 25% discount, but they book out in advance as well too. So they get 25 plus 10%, that's 35%. So that only leaves me 65%, right? Well, actually that's what they pay. They'll pay 65% because with the discounts, they're paying $400 now for that car for the 3-day rental, which isn't bad. It's pretty it's competitive in the industry, not in Turo. Still a lot more than other cars, but in the industry, that's pretty decent, especially for the white glove VIP Vegas experience service where I'm delivering the car and it's like I'll go out of my way to making sure that they had excellent customer service, and so which is really delivery. So 401, and then so of course I keep 75% of that after 25% cut from Turo. That's $300. So divided by 3 days, that's how I come up with at least getting $100 per day on the car. So those are a couple of things, renting out like office or not shop space from my local automotive shop, repair shop, and being able to do a lot of the services myself helps out quite a bit. So factoring that in, again, like I do a lot of times, 75% of the time to 80% of the time, I'm hiring them to give me that service, but at the same time, I'm also getting a heavily discounted rate. Also because I'm also buying in bulk as well too. So whenever I need a tire or 2 tires, I'm usually buying 4 unless there's a way for me to get even a bigger discount, buying 6 or 8, knowing that I'm probably going to use those tires. If not, I could probably sell them, and a lot of times I have sold those tires and earned a profit because I store those tires or I have those tires in stock. So buying in bulk is a really big thing. Plus I get the price on bulk for oil and all the fluids, which is kind of a big thing, especially when you have these older cars where you're constantly changing oil. I'm changing oil on these older cars every month to keep it fresh. It seems like the cars really like that, especially the Corvette. Tire repair, I've had to, you gotta know how to do a tire repair. You gotta also know how to plug in a computer and diagnose your car. And I've replaced some tubes, some just rubber tubes, and on a roadside deal. And being able to do certain things like that will definitely make it a better experience, a better business for you. And think of it not as a car rental business, because the car rental side of it sucks. Think about the experience that you have or that you offer with your clientele, because that's really where the value is building up a solid clientele and really building that repeat business, and then getting those referrals. Referrals are a big thing. And out here in Vegas, more so than I've ever experienced in California, is people love to tip out here. They love to they're in that tipping mode. It's where they go, they experience some great service, and they share that gratitude. They pass on that gratitude in the form of cash. So that's always kind of nice as well too. And so that's another reason why I really like this business, is because other clients and the money, really, the money that type of level of clients bring in. So I call it the 200 club. Anything over 200, different experience, a lot less bad experiences. And you get to cover a whole lot more. You get to offer a lot more. You get to offer more value, offering a high price. I think I pretty much covered everything. If you do have questions on specifics, maybe I talked to you this weekend, leave a comment down below. Maybe I forgot something, or maybe you want me to touch base on something, or maybe I clarified something based off of what we talked about. I do talk with plenty of guests quite often, other hosts quite often as well too, new people. I meet a lot of new people who are looking at getting into the Turo business. And I will say this, if you're not a car person, if you're not looking at putting out work, you're not looking about the service, then I think this is a tough business. Being able to compete with other car rental businesses, especially at the economy level, it just doesn't make sense. I've never seen it make sense. older cars tend to break down. And I would say that it'd be a different story if you had roadside assistance, roadside support that was immediate and it was like an emergency. If it was treated like an emergency where that guest needs to continue with their trip or needs to continue with their vacation, or it's based off of business, which it should be, but it's just not. And roadside isn't quick, and it does kind of suck because the communication isn't all there. So the guest is confused. You're having to take part in the back and forth, and you're calling, so it takes up a lot of time. So if you have 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, it might be manageable, but I mean, I'm scared to even add more cars just because of the level of support at this level that I want to always make sure that I deliver at, which is pretty high level. Well, more cars just means more potential opportunities for problems to happen, but again, also more potential for great opportunities to happen. So another reason why you should do the 200 Plus Club or be part of the 200 Plus Club, because if your car is only being rented out for 6 to 8 days out of the month, and you're making a little bit of money versus having your car out all the time and making a little bit of money, well, you saw there's still an upside. There's still available days, still available, great opportunity to make more money, and hopefully you have a great experience and that you can provide a great experience. But again, you can have that mission, but without the margins, well, without no margins, there is no mission, and can't afford to really provide that service unless you're making enough money to be able to do so. So again, if you ever need support, leave a comment down below. If you have a question, if you want me to touch or expand on, or if you have any video ideas, content ideas, leave a comment down below. And you can also reach me on my website, nextmultiplier.com. I'm available live chat. I'm also available for one-on-one phone calls. That hits right with my calendar, so that's the only way I can really schedule and organize my time is if you schedule something with me through my website, again at nextmultiplier.com. Until the next video, thanks for watching.